Well, welcome back to Envoy Medical's a channel helping people regain hearing, health, independence, and a sense of adventure with one-of-a-kind fully implantable devices trading on the Nasdaq under COCH. This interview is disseminated on behalf of Envoy Medical, and we're privileged to be joined by Brent Lucas, the CEO. First and foremost, welcome back, sir.
Thank you. It's good to be here as always.
Yeah, and it's always a pleasure to get you on. And I think for newer audiences that are just stumbling into the story, I just want to reiterate what you guys are doing because you put yourself in a phenomenal position from your cash to currently your trial. So maybe just broad view it for people just stumbling in.
Absolutely. So, Envoy Medical is a hearing health company that is really trying to reset the stage when it comes to how you treat severe to profound hearing. So, we've created a fully implanted, completely invisible cochlear implant, and we are positioning ourselves to be disruptive to the already existing cochlear implant market that is now dominated by companies that make partially implanted. So, part of it is external and part of it is internal. And so we are just really set up nicely, I believe, to disrupt I believe, a slightly sleepy industry that is ready for some disruption. And I feel very strongly that we have put ourselves in a position just in these last 3 months with some amazing milestones that now we're starting to see the momentum build behind us.
Yeah, before we talk to the milestones too much, from the cash standpoint, because I know this is usually the biggest concern with companies around trials, how long is your cash runway currently?
Yeah, we just did a raise of 30 million in gross proceeds, but also some milestone warrants that will allow us to get about another 48 million if we hit those milestones. So the 30 million in gross proceeds, that takes us over 12 months into the future through our trial into the PMA submission. And from there, then we can hit those milestones, bring in additional capital, which will get us into commercialization. So for a company like Envoy, having cash is king, right? And being able to do a raise like this was incredibly important. Not only the money itself, but we also attracted some very large, well-known institutional investors in the process that are specialized in these smaller medical device companies. So really feel strongly now that the smart money is starting to come around us, which other retail investors or smaller investors should start to feel comfortable about.
Yeah, absolutely. So speaking to the milestone standpoint, Envoy Medical completed the enrollment of these pivotal clinical trials evaluating this first of a kind fully implanted cochlear implant. Do you want to talk about where these trials are currently at?
Yes, so we are the first company that has a US-based pivotal clinical study to look at evaluating a fully implanted cochlear implant. So throughout the globe, there's three large companies that have been in this space for a while, but Envoy Medical is David to Goliath. So we are the company in the US that just completed an enrollment for our pivotal clinical study. So 56 patients have now been enrolled. Enrollment for us means successful implantation of the device. And now we will follow that last patient. Sometimes they call it last patient in. We will follow that last patient in for 12 months and then submit to the FDA for FDA approval.
Nice. And I guess just zooming out a bit here as well, because this is an incredible story to be following. But from a total addressable market standpoint, I mean, looking at some analysts that have been picking you up in Australia, because I think one of the largest competitors is Cochlear Limited. How do you guys see yourselves kind of expanding into this space with, attention coming now from around the globe? And I mean, do you guys consider yourselves potentially a buyout target? I mean, how do you see this evolving?
Hearing loss is incredibly important. In the US alone, there's probably 40 million people that have significant hearing loss. By significant, meaning it's disabling to them in some way, right? Noticeable. And then if you really pare that down to who could benefit from a cochlear implant for adults, it's about 2.8 million people, and that's just in the U.S. Now we are considering a price point of about 30,000 for our device, so a total addressable market just in the U.S. just for adults of about $84 billion. Now, when you take that globally, it's quite a large number, obviously. And there's three main players in the space. One of them is Cochlear Limited, as you mentioned. They are Australian based. They are a publicly traded company in Australia. And yeah, over the news of us completing enrollment, I have received about 5 or 6 inbound inquiries from analysts covering Cochlear who are concerned. And I think they should be, because we are a company that is looking to disrupt the existing status quo. And this is a very exciting opportunity for us. And I think people are starting to really realize this is a true opportunity and this company is for real. This is not a company making something that is software based or AI based or some of these buzzwords. We have a real medical device that is now in human beings and is now through enrollment of a trial. Like this is a real tangible opportunity. And I hope people pay attention to it because I'm very bullish about where we're headed.
On that note, I do appreciate your time today, but we will pass it off to the viewers. Consider subscribing. When news and catalysts like this comes down the wire, of course, we're going to bring it to you here. If you want to explore Envoy Medical further, of course, we'll leave the links in the description. But on that, we'll pass it off to you, and we look forward to catching you in the next one.